Hey everyone, this is Vera McCoy, and we're going through my book, Healing Therapies for Long COVID, Chapter 5, Calming the Storm. So, if you recall in previous chapters, the spike protein is really the main issue, right? That some people's immune systems are not able to properly recognize the spike proteins, whether it comes from COVID or the vaccine. It doesn't matter. The immune system malfunctions over it, right? It gets dysregulated. It's like the wires get crossed. It's like can't find it. So then part of our job is not only getting the spike proteins out, we're going to talk about that, but it's also calming down the immune system. It's not about boosting the immune system, right? Because when we boost the immune system, it's like, hey, everybody's more ramped up. All the white blood cells are ready to go. Oh, let's attack our bodies even more, right? Because our bodies are, in a sense, attacking itself to get at the spike at what it doesn't know what they are. And so it sets up this autoimmune sort of situation, which is interesting because it's like, hmm, I wonder how much autoimmunity is actually caused by something actually really there, a fragment of a virus, or at least it's the trigger. There's a trigger that causes this dysregulation. So then and the dysregulation causes inflammation and histamine, right? So we want to look at the practices that help calm the immune system down, help modulate the immune system, and also help smarten the immune system, right? Because the immune system may be just a little bit smarter. It's like, oh, I got you. I see you now, right? Boom, you're out. So that's what we want to look at doing. So, what are some things that help? Rest. Rest is so key, right? The immune system works best when you sleep. Detoxification works best when you sleep. Sometimes when you're dealing with long COVID, you are buzzing. It is hard to sleep, but you have to do your best to try to rest, even if it's just laying down, doing some deep breathing. Music. Listen to calming music. Not Metallica right now. There's a time and place for that. Listen to some calming music, right? Whatever gets your brain to let go. One of my favorite remedies is ice water. Ice water. Water, right? If there's so much inflammation going on, what's great for calming down that inflammation? Water. Ice water, especially. Ice, any kind of ice, cold plunges, getting cold showers, drinking ice water. Mm. Whatever you can do to cool down the inflammation, cool down the body. That's what we're looking for, right? Our herbs, the things like that, the practices. Okay, calming the limbic system. So this is huge. So that place where the wires get crossed, right? There's this place deeper in our brain called the limbic system. And the limbic system is kind of like the switchboard in a way of the body. It's sort of like the computer part that regulates everything. And the limbic system is connected to fight or flight. So soldiers in army in wars, they get into this space we call PTSD, right? It's like the soldier that's still on the island that thinks the war is going on 2 years later, like Sarge, they're everywhere. It's like, no, soldier, hold your fire. Those are women and children. Calm down, right? Calm down. It's okay. So what do we do with that PTSD soldier? Which is in a sense what's going on in our own limbic systems, our brains, right? We have to calm that down. We have to rewire it in a sense. We have to teach it new behavior. And the limbic system is connected to what's called the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is this beautiful nerve that runs down from the limbic system down the side of the neck, down into your gut. And the vagus nerve calms us down when it's activated. It's the opposite of Las Vegas. If Las Vegas is incredibly stimulating, the vagus nerve is calming, right? So when you think Vegas, think calm. We want to turn the vagus nerve on. We want to calm us down to help re-regulate. There's a number of practices, and I have some meditations on calming the vagus nerve. But one of my favorites is just doing slow breathing. So it turns out when carbon dioxide builds up in your blood, it activates the vagus nerve, right? CO2. So how can we build up carbon dioxide in our blood? By when we inhale, we're inhaling oxygen, right? When we hold the breath, carbon dioxide is building up. When we're exhaling, carbon dioxide is still building up because we're not breathing in oxygen, right? So if we exhale longer or we hold the breath longer than the amount of oxygen that's coming in, the carbon dioxide levels start to come up and they activate the vagus nerve. They help to calm down the limbic system. So calming breath, right? With long haul COVID and a lot of autoimmune diseases, these kinds of calming breaths are really important. In the last one, we worked on fire, right? Activating the fire, but now we're working on really calming. So let's do a little bit. And there's a beautiful breath work called Buteyko breathing, Buteyko. Forgive me if I spelled that wrong, or box breathing, but simply like this. So imagine you're going to breathe in for 4 counts. Not imagine, but do it with me. 4 counts in. Hold the breath for 4 counts. 3, 4. Exhale for 8. Shh. Making a shush sound, like a little, like you're shushing a baby. In this case, you're shushing your limbic system, right? Shh. Good. Inhaling. Good. Hold the breath. Exhaling. Shh. Good. Really with that intention of calming. Now, this time as you're inhaling, imagine you're drawing in the brightest light from the brightest star. Hold the breath. Smile. Think about what you love. Remember, we did that last time. Exhaling. Shh. Imagine all that light you just drew and is now washing through your body like a golden river. Good. Calming everything down. Inhaling one last time. Full breath in, all the way in. Hold the breath, smiling. Exhaling. Shh. Allowing yourself to be a hollow tube with that breath, moving right through, down into the center of the earth, calming yourself down. Good. Notice a little bit more calm there, right? A little bit more. So that's a really great way to get yourself out of that limbic loop. There's a lot of limbic exercises online. I highly recommend them. Things from like just gently stimulating the vagus nerve. I'm not going to get into all of them, but there's a lot of different ways to activate the vagus nerve, right? Stimulate it, calm the brain down. One of my favorite things is doing figure eights. So when you do a figure eight, it's something we don't usually do, and it's kind of like helps erase patterns, right? So even taking your head and doing figure eights, maybe you can do it top down. Yeah, like that, right? Figure eights help erase patterns, right? If we get stuck in a particular pattern of movement, right? The wires are going a particular way. By doing figure eights, we're helping to smooth that out, to help rewire, right? So that's another really good practice. Okay, Buteyko breathing, neuroplasticity. Dissociative medicines. So one of the things that a lot of people have discovered is that dissociative drugs or medicines help. These are things that get us out of the limbic system, right? Get us out of this fight or flight place, maybe temporarily, but they help us to rewire. So in other words, the dissociatives, when you get out of yourself, it gives your body a chance to rewire. And there's a lot of great science on this, actually. And you can now we're going to get into things like ketamine. Ketamine works really well for some people. And you don't have to take a massive dose of it. That's helpful. but you can even microdose it, right? When I think about microdosing some of these medicines I'm going to talk about, but these dissociative drugs help us get out of the limbic system, right? Help us calm down that PTSD, which is exactly what we are trying to do. And there's a number of scientific studies on calming down PTSD and using dissociative drugs for that. It's helped me tremendously. Microdosing, ketamine, other medicines, mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms. Um, it's not about blowing your mind out like you did when you were younger. Maybe you're older. Maybe you are younger. And well, anyway, you do what you want to do. But those things, the mushrooms, microdosing, or even a macrodose in the right situation, maybe with a therapist, help us get out of the limbic system, help us to rewire, help us to calm down the PTSD. And those drugs can also help us get at buried emotions, stuck trauma that we talked about that might be hampering the, immune system. These dissociative drugs might be helping us get at the stuck trauma that's down there too, help feel the feelings that never got felt, like we talked about in the previous chapter, right? Do it with a therapist. Make sure you feel safe. That's the key thing. We've got ketamine, mushrooms, microdosing, macrodosing. We've got LSD, microdosing LSD. A lot of great science on all of this. Wachuma. Wachuma is a San Pedro cactus. It's got a little mescaline in it. That's another great one, microdosing. And then we get into things like ayahuasca and iboga and peyote. And those three, you really, really need to be careful. You need to sit with somebody, a shaman, medicine person, right? And those can, again, also help you get at a lot of that underlying unresolved emotional trauma, as well as help rewiring the limbic system, right? I mean, I know people who've done a little ayahuasca and they've come right out of it. Long COVID. So those are potent medicines. What did I miss? DMT is another one that people use. Bufo. Please use 5-MeO instead of Bufo. Those frogs are getting really, really tampered with. Bufo, it comes out of their parotid glands. It's literally a little poison that the frogs secrete. And unfortunately, there's unscrupulous frog squeezers out there. So if you're going to do that, please do it with someone who's really cares about the animals. Otherwise, do 5-MeO. It's the synthetic of that. It's not a disassociative, but combo is another medicine that's really helpful for long COVID as well, and that comes from a poisonous frog from the Amazon rainforest, and there's practitioners who work with that. So all these medicines, if I left your favorite medicine out, I'm sorry. There's probably more. I think microdosing is a good way to go if you don't want to do a macro dose. What I did was 2 days on of something, a day off, and then 2 days on of something else. So I'd rotate. In other words, I do mushrooms for 2 days. And when you're microdosing, you're just getting it to this just barely a sparkle, right? You find your edge. You're not, we don't want to be out of our mind all day. Like we want to be able to function, right? But that is that part of out of your mind. That's the part that like, oh, now the body has a chance to heal itself, right? Rewire. So we're looking for a little bit of that, just a little sparkle. You'll find your right dosage, right? And I would rotate those medicines and do something different, whatever you have access to. Keep in mind, a lot of these medicines may be illegal. So I'm not telling you to go do illegal drugs. Just do it where it's safe, where it feels right. And preferably, if you're going to do a macrodose with a healer, with someone who can really work with. So all those things help calm down, rewire the limbic system. Oh, one thing I forgot. A lot of people started reporting that when they were going in and getting anesthesia for, say, like a surgery or something, and this happened to me too. I had to get a surgery. An anesthesia like propofol is what they use. I think that was the Michael Jackson drug, maybe. Um, propofol helped people when they went under, right? Completely under. People were waking up saying, "Oh my God, my symptoms are gone." And I noticed a huge difference when I had to go into surgery and they put me to sleep and I woke up and I remember the next day I was like, wow, I feel great. Like that's a disassociative, right? It's an anesthetic, just like ketamine. It helps you get out of your body, right? So there's some rewiring that can happen. The limbic system can calm down. Sometimes miracles can happen there. I've seen that happen with these kinds of medicines. So find your right remedy, and it's a really great way to heal. Gratitude. I want to talk about gratitude. It's really easy to get stuck in the victim mentality, right? Of, oh my God, I'm sick. I'm never going to heal. I'm this thing, right? You have to be grateful. Your immune system hears you. Your immune system hears you. Oh, I'm just sick forever. Okay. I guess you are, right? Your subconscious hears that. Part of the way out of that is to be grateful, is to wake up every morning, go to sleep every evening when you go to sleep, and think about the things you're grateful for. Even if it's like, I'm grateful for moving my hand, right? Start simple because you might not be the same that you were before. You cannot compare yourself. I'm grateful for my cat. I'm grateful for my plants. I'm grateful for the sun shining. I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for food. Remember, a lot of people don't even have food. I'm grateful for smelling a rose, whatever it is. Cultivate gratitude every day. Your immune system hears that. Your immune system can heal. I did, and so can you. Gratitude is a huge part of it. All right. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next chapter.